Hi guys. Oh, help me. Help me. Be patient with me as I get this set up. And there's the Bible I'm going to be using today. I'm not even sure if this one's available anymore. This is the New Living Translation. I do use quite a few different versions. And for those of you who are stuck with only using one version, that's great. Keep your opinions to yourself. I'll delete comments that want to argue which translation is better than another. As long as it's Bible based, it's Genesis through Revelation. We're going to use the Bible. So, this is not the place to debate. This is the place to come together for prayer, for learning why to journal, to learn, the different ways that we can overcome a whole lot because we got to change our mindset. And y'all, anything I'm saying to you, I say, oh, come on. You just got to love when computers decide, like, we're tired and we're not going to work anymore. Or we're just going to struggle. I got a grandpa journal and oh, it's just so much fun. Okay, so yeah, what my premise is as a life coach. I specialize in helping people walk through grief and walk through other areas of life. Life is not just a one and done situation. It's not, I give my life to the Lord. I ask for repentance and I'm going to live happily ever after. That's just not, we're not living in a Disney. And you know what? I realized as an adult, I was watching Snow White or Bambi or one of the Disney shows at some point. What I grew up with, back in the day, that hold on one second. And just knowing that or watching through a couple of Disney, which I grew up with Disney, Snow White, Bambi, the old ones, all the old ones. They're so fun. They're innocent, but yet with the storyline, it's kind of like watching Little House on the Prairie or The Waltons, one of those shows from back in the day, which are so much needed in the world today, because where there's a problem, there's a solution. Because in this life, the Bible tells us there is going to be trials and tribulations and situations. And so I'm leaning in towards getting a method going on here between bringing my life coach together and journaling together. And with that journaling, that could include some drawing, some photography, some digital designs, some just doodling and so forth. I've spent the last couple of days going through Pinterest again, just collecting some doodle stuff. And so my goal is at this point is to stay diligent and not get frustrated with technology when it's not uploading my videos. And I need some likes on my YouTube page here so I can go live on YouTube. That's my goal. There's no cost to it. It's free, y'all. And we got to get this going because we're living in perilous times. We're living in times that we just need more truth, more joy, more real Bible truths, y'all. Like, this is what I love the Bible. I love the Bible. Now, this one, the binding is so, has been used so well that I had to put this really strong duct tape kind of stuff on it here. And I'm going to have to come in and probably put some more in here. And you could tell my Bibles are used. I've got many Bibles, and the ones that I use a lot, man, there, like this one, I had to put, this is just absolutely falling apart. And this is one of my favorite Bibles. It's the NCV, and I love it because it's portable. It's small. This is what I took with me when I was in school, that I could just put it in my purse or whatever. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I mark my Bibles up. I put Post-it notes in there. I've got a little fun birthday confetti that my son sent me one year, and that just reminds me to pray for my kids, because I opened up my envelope and he filled it with that confetti. And so, there's a saying out there, a Christian is in the Word when their Bible's falling apart. And y'all, with all my Bibles, many of them are falling apart. That I have, thank God for duct tape and big packaging tape and so forth. So what we're going to be doing, I'm thrilled about it. And the devil has really been fighting me with this. And y'all remember that the devil is real. He's ugly, and he does not want me to share the truth. And because the truth sets us free. And so we are going to stay steadfast and strong with this all. And hold on one second. Okay, and so, we are going to start doing some more lives, some more on Facebook. I've got my Water at the Well, I've got my Bible study page, and my Grief to Life Again. So between them, we're going to be doing some live videos and so forth. Now on Facebook, those only stay up 30 days. So the goal is I'm going to eventually, once I can go live on YouTube, that's going to be awesome. And I will just put the link to the videos on the Facebook page. That way they're there, versus when I go live on Facebook in 30 days from the day that I'm live, Facebook deletes it. They're just saving themselves some money, because it costs them money for all that storage, for all the videos that people are doing. So this is going to probably save them a whole bunch of money. And even they got to save money, right? So this is where we're at. And so today, real quick, just a real quick one here. What I'm going to do, I've got my Bible here to use, but I'm going to be talking a lot about journaling and why to journal and what to do. So I'm going to use the Bible. That's always going to be the premise of what I'm using. And in some of my notes, I go to the dollar store. The dollar store has a lot of great pens. One of my favorites is the RSVP Fine, the Pentel Fine. They have a medium. It's okay, but I do like the Fine the best. I've been using this particular brand for years now. And I like this for the fine, just regular ink, okay? My other favorite one is the Pilot Precise V7, which is a fine gel pen. This one, I have found, lasts the longest. I do use the Pilot G2. This one does not last as long. But sometimes you can get a really good deal at Walmart or on Amazon for these, either in black or in color. And these are nice, and they're gel pens. I like that they click, versus this one is capped, as is this one. But they're really good. Pilot and Pentel seem to be the best two brands overall. But I will say that these two are my very, very favorite. I'm probably going to mention that a whole lot, because people want to know what good pens are. And you can find some really good deals. This particular one often is at the dollar store. They used to have a 2-pack for the $1.25. And sometimes they'll do a 1-pack. Either way, for $1.25, and even if the prices go up to $1.75, like they're saying at Dollar Tree, it's not a bad price, okay? Amazon oftentimes, if you wait for their sale prices, they will have a good price on almost all their pens. So a pen, either one of these, shouldn't cost you more than $1.25. You get the 6-pack, the 12-pack, whatever they have available, you can get it for, $8 to $10, something like that. And both of these last a very long time. There are some pens that don't last. I do have some color pens, like I've got the RSVP in the color. They were super cheap, like $1 each or 75 cents each, something like that. They don't tend to last as long. The pigmentation is different with the color, but I like having those colors available when I'm drawing. So anyhow, so let's get back to it. So the dollar store tends to change up their notepads. Oftentimes they don't have the same ones. The best time to get their notepads are during when the school year starts. So they've been putting school supplies out as early as the end of June, beginning of July, to get prepared for the school year. They usually have boxes at all of the stores by us, and you all probably know that there are some Dollar Trees that are bigger than others. We have 5 of them within a 15 or 20-minute radius from my home, and 2 of them are super large. They're like super Dollar Trees, and then the other 2, one is average and one is small. So of course the bigger ones have more stuff to look at. But anyway, I tend to find some decent little notepads like this at the Dollar Tree. And I love the little lines. The paper's fairly decent all the time. So you can get little comp books like this. This one they used to have all the time. So it just depends on, like, this is great to put in your purse. If you're going to work, maybe you're on the train or you're flying on a plane, you can just open it up and put something in there. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a lot of journaling, a lot of being in touch with you guys. Sometimes I'm just going to sit here and and other times, I will just not talk and just create. I have spent plenty of time over the last couple of years as I share with you my tips, my ideas and stuff, and I've shown you the types of tools I use with pens, color pencils, markers, and so forth. And I will be honest, I'm really bad at posting the brands afterwards, but if anybody wants to know, just send a nice message. Hey, what were the pens you used? And I can put those brands up there if I forget to do that. I'm really bad that way. So I'm more worried about getting the uploads in because those can be difficult sometimes. So here today, what I'm going to show you here is in this I keep at my desk, and I like it because the lines, they're dotted lines. If you can see that, they're dotted. And I like to I was just doing this. Small little snippets that I can use I can transfer these little one-liners onto a card that I can send to somebody when I'm thinking about them. Whether it's in an email, a text. The great thing is you could sit here and doodle, and then you could take a picture of that and send it to somebody. No 80-cent stamp and whatever, but there's something about snail mail that people do appreciate getting snail mail now and then. So I do get my stamps. Roll of stamps now lasts me a long time, and I only send stuff out now and then, whereas I used to send it out more often. But anyway, just think of ways that you can bless others and encourage them as you are creating, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. The great thing is using your own handwriting is a wonderful thing. If you absolutely hate your handwriting, the great thing is you pull up the Word document or your notepad on your phone or your iPad, you pull it up, you type out your little saying, your verse or whatever, and then you can print that out. Now, it can get a little more complicated because if you want it to look like something like this, then that's a whole other thing. So let's just say here with this, I'm going to grab some of my little things here. Okay, so let's just say at this point, I want to just make this look pretty. I want to fussy it up a little bit. I'm going to take, this is a photograph I took of flowers. Flowers are always so easy to take pictures of. And I'm a photographer, if y'all didn't know. So, and I always have, like, I take my ads from the mailers and I put them in here. So what I'm going to do here is take my glue. And again, thank goodness, you know, I fought Amazon for a long time until we ran out of toilet paper. And then I had to get some toilet paper on Amazon because it was the only place to find it. So I got the membership. And so now it's like, okay, well, sometimes it's just easier to get what I need to get. And then I stay within my budget as well, because if I go out shopping, sometimes I spend more money. So, let's see here. All right. And so I can do this. Now, here's where I do like to use my Precise pen. Now, here's a cute little idea. You can use, I've got my favorite little markers, my 6-inch markers here. These used to be, post or pre 5 years ago, these would be at Office Max, Office Depot, Staples for like 67 cents. I think last time I saw them, they were 75 cents. And they're steel on the top. They've got this beautiful non-skid rubber on the back that really adheres well. And now they're probably $3 each at this point. I don't know. But this is always one of my handy dandy. I love that it's got the little hole there so I can hang it on my board. If I want to hang them, I keep it in my pencil cup. It's just easy to do it that way. I also, this here was from a pair of shoes or something that I got, or my son or somebody. And you know sometimes how the clothes, if you go clothes shopping at the real store, you get all these cute little tags. And sometimes they're really nice quality. They're real thick. I like to use those for the shape. And you can, you know, use it to draw your shapes. Okay. So I love this because it's plastic. And I can just put this right here. And I'm just going to draw. And this makes it easy because the line's already here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this up here. And I don't know if you can read what this says or not. So let me draw my lines and then they'll go to the next step. Now, I could have done the box before I put the picture down, or I can do it after. Either way, doesn't matter. Now, if you use something more waxy, like a colored pencil, then you might lose some of that glue on the paper if you've got some crayon or something under there. Crayons work well as well. And then what I'll do is I'll just because, actually, you know what, I'll use my green one. Let me use my green one. And leaves are so easy to create. So easy. And you can watch tutorials on YouTube or on Pinterest if you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't draw. You know, real basic flowers and leaves are so easy to create. Now, another really nice doodle that's easy and it's not precise. Don't worry about being precise. My theory is if you want precise, you are going to use something mechanical to make everything perfect, okay? If you want precise circles, precise squares, and so forth, you can use your Cricut. You can use your Scan and Cut. You can use, you know, whatever templates that will make a perfect circle, okay? And then you'll get your perfection. But when we're just drawing, don't worry about perfection. So like this guy here makes circles. I don't have paper handy, but you put your paper in here, crunch it, and there it is. Okay, when you get these, if you buy one, get Fisker. Don't buy the little crappy, cheapy ones because you'll throw it in the garbage. The little cutter that's underneath doesn't work well for those cheapy brands. So if you get one at the dollar store, you're going to get the dollar store feel to it, okay? The other way you can do it too is I have these beautiful old Creative Memory plastic cutters, if you will. I like to use these to make circles, so I can take this, okay, and just kind of like the not Etch a Sketch, but the Spirograph. That's kind of like that. But there's little edges in here, and you can go to Creative Memories. I think they still sell these. My brand was from many years ago, and they made things very, 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 very well. I love that this was, I don't know if it still is, but their products were proudly made in the United States. I don't know if they sold out at some point. They might have gotten bought out. I don't know. But Creative Memory, the original, was always quality U.S. made. So the plastic's really heavy. They have these little rubber, really thin rubber, so it doesn't skid. But you take a little, there's a tool here, and you can cut. So another little cute little thing here. So you can see this. There's a little blade there, and you just, if you wanted to cut paper, you put it in there and then you cut it. You can cut it on the outside to make it a bigger circle. And again, you can go to creativememories.com and look and see what they've got. But there's all kinds of tools to use. So, but I want to cater to the people who just want to start basic. That's the best way. Don't think you need a bunch of tools. I've probably had mine for 30 years. 30 years. And I use them. I don't use them a lot, but I do use them. And so that's another tool to use. So again, I was a scrapbooker before junk journals and things like that came out. And so I had a lot of my cutting tools, things like that well before. And so okay, so what this says is, through the noise of selfish striving, may I hear you, Lord, my God. Now I'm going to use a colored pencil here to give this a little more definition, okay? So here's how basic this is. I took and printed out. Now you got to learn your own printer. I can't tell you how to use your printer. So if you don't know how to print a picture to make like 12 of them come out on a page, you've got to figure that out on your own computer. I think once or twice over the last 5 or 10 years, I might have done I showed you how I do it with my printer, and it varies. So if you've got a Canon, I've got an HP, and someone else has an Epson, all of them are set up differently. And I've been using HP for years and years. I personally don't like the Canon printers. I had one, and I really hated it. The Epson is pretty good, but I've come to find that so far I like the HP the best, except for the cheap ones. HP's cheap ones are cheap, and they don't always print. Sometimes I need to print something, and it won't print it. And then 2 days later, it'll print it. So it's just kind of goofy. I'm just checking. Okay. So anyway, so here's a simple way, just for encouraging myself. I put here, your compassion, Lord God, is everlasting. I seek you alone, Lord. You are my living water. And I didn't put scriptures along with that. This was just in a devotional and notes that I took. So it all just depends on where you're at, what you are writing. I've learned after many, many years of journaling scriptures that I try my best to put the scripture reference to it. Not always. Again, this was just a little ditty I put in here, and I didn't put but I can easily go back and just add the scripture reference in there. Normally, what I do is I will write. So when I wrote these here, I use my Precise V7. When I put the scripture reference, I would probably take my fine, thinner, less ink used and put the reference down here. Now, sometimes maybe you want it to say really big, Psalm 23. Then you can use your Sharpie Ultra Fine Point, and that would be great. And then that can be your premise of your verse. Okay, so again, I can take this then, and I was making, last night I was kind of working, I have some old encyclopedias and I'm coloring them up, and I don't know if I can do this. So sometimes, see, I used some color crayons, painting crayons, if you will. So sometimes, not, maybe I'm going to have to use my, where is it? Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Alright. So I always keep my scissors handy, my pencils, my erasers. I have 3 cups on my desk with all of that. Okay, because I did the crayon oil paint on this, I wasn't even thinking color schemes. I just did red, white, and blue with the stars. And I always keep my scratch paper handy because, okay, and I love my Sharpies, but I will say they can last a long time, but I'm lucky if I can get 2 months out of a thin Sharpie anymore. So this one's just not going to work. They do wear out pretty easy. I can use the micros. This one's thicker, so maybe I'll use a thicker marker. This is just some no-name brand that I got off of Amazon because they were having a cheap sale. You know, sometimes when you buy any cheap markers, what you can guarantee is if they last longer than a year, you've been blessed. If they last 2 months, then okay, moving on. You know, and just make note that marker didn't work out that well. So, with this set here, now I gotta get another. So I'm gonna take this piece of paper out of, because I was using this for something, for grocery list or something, and then I decided no, I want to use it for the paper because I like the paper. So there's something nice about raggedy edges. And if you want to keep that, that's awesome. That is wonderful. If you want to move on, all right. And of course, I'm trying to clean out. I've been cleaning out my little area here, and I needed to do some more. Let's see, red, white, and blue. That's yellow. I need some more yellow flowers, and I don't have any. I'm not going to just put one down to put one down. I've got to go through my flowers and find maybe some more yellow flowers, daffodils or whatever here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have to go dig through my stash of flowers, and I'm going to add possibly another flower right here. and I'm going to add another flower right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I just wanted to give you guys an idea to get you encouraged and inspired to get those journals out and get them done, or start doing them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and I'm not going to cut the bottom out until I put the flower there. So I'm going to go find myself a couple of yellow flowers to match with the yellow here, and then I'm going to glue this on here. And then let me show you another little trick, okay, just to get things to look finished, is you just do a little outline, and to have it look kind of doodle-esque. Now, some people, again, if you're a perfectionist and you want it to look perfect, then you go ahead and you outline with perfection. I don't have time for that. I'm always one that will color outside the lines, okay? So that just kind of gives it a little extra finish. And if I want to be even more creative, I'm going to take and do a little lighter green on the outside just to give it a little more depth and color, and it's not so bland, okay? So you get real creative, real simple or real creative. If you think it's bland, when you do your work, add a little color to it. Add 2 colors. So in my, pile of greens, I do a lot of greenery. So I've got all these shades of green. This one's a 2-sided one. This particular brand is out of stock now. Design Spectracolor. They closed. They just closed for business, and they don't make them anymore, which is so sad because these were the best of the best. But Prisma, you can go to Michael's, get single ones. But yeah, so I use a lot of green, so I have a lot of different shades, and you can even highlight inside the box different shades of green. I like these 3 greens, or here's a yellow, here's a light green and a dark green. And if you wanted to color inside the box and that brings a little punch to the page, that's awesome. And then what you can do is, once you're done with that, you can make either a folder, or what you can do is take a let's see if I have one. I don't have I just happened to cut this off the other day, but you can take it. Look at how that just brings it to life. Okay, I could cut this down. That would look really, really cute because it's got yellow, it's got green. There's no red, white, and blue in this one, but if I wanted to use this, or I could pull out my stash of stationery paper, and that just brings it to life. What I would do is bring it over here so you see a little bit of the paper here, and then have this fit inside of a binder if you want to. And there's your collection of your artwork, and it's your own special binder, and you can decorate it as you want. You could go get a Scholastic binder that you can open it up, and then you can decorate the outside of it. You can leave it plain, and we can do something like that another day. But yeah, something like this, I'm loving this. That I will probably end up putting this on a. I'm not going to use this particular one. I'm going to use maybe another sheet of stationery paper. But that gives you an idea to just make your own. And it's your own work. And then you could, again, put it in a folder and collect them, put them in a binder, have a small box. You can go to the Michael's and get the plastic boxes, or even the cardboard boxes that they have at Michael's. Those you can get, I think they used to be 3 for $10. Now they're probably 3 for $15 maybe. And they have all kinds of sizes, and you can put them in there. And what a treasure that will be, that you can either gift that to somebody, or it's just a nice little gift that you can leave as a legacy to your children or grandchildren. Okay, so many ways to don't think, oh, I'm going to collect it, it's going to go up in the attic. Think of ways that you can gift it. And after a 6 months of making these things, that would be a gift that you can give to someone super special. It's your own work and it has a message in it. People love good messages. People love encouraging words. So, anyone can go to Amazon and buy their thing. And if there's a need, of course, do that first. If someone needs clothing or something like that. But if you get to the place where there's someone, they can buy what they want to buy. And this is crafting, but it's not something that's going to get stuck either in a garage sale or at Goodwill one day. There's something sweet and special about your handwork, your penmanship, your gathering things together, because it's really thought provoked. And not to say, I appreciate the people that knit and crochet. I love that. But that's not necessarily my gig. I like to do some embroidery and add it to my work, but to put embroidery up and decorate with it is not my gig. So I utilize my embroidery and things like that and the crochet things that I buy from people to enhance my journaling. Okay, that's what I love. And so it's a matter of just getting creative, and that's what I'm here for, to show you different ways to create something beautiful and leave a legacy, share a word of encouragement and blessing other people. Okay? So that's it for today. Hope you got something. I would love to hear from you. Please like my YouTube station. If you want to come live on the Facebook pages, I will try to remember to put those links up here. And yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you guys.